I love talking about food, but it's time to do our show. So guess what? What are we talking about today? I got your PDF. Thank you, Yuko. Happy Monday, everybody, and the show starts now. When does prayer become a miracle? Embracing the power of faith-filled expectation through the 5 pillars of prosperity. So, when we start a day, we are told we need to center ourselves. It's in centering that we become what it is we are seeking to be today. So, when you say good morning, beautiful people, beautiful souls, when you say a good morning to someone and even to yourself, when you stand up and you go, good morning, how are you doing today? Instead of saying morning, you cannot say morning without your head going up like it doesn't matter. But when you say good morning, it comes from within. So, good morning, beautiful, wonderful souls. Let's begin today with 3 deep breaths. You guys know the drill. Did you do them already? But if you haven't, breathe in. This is unique, so pay attention to that because it's taking you into today's blessing. Breathe in and breathe in belief. I believe. Hold it. Release the doubt that you're feeling. The doubt. So then you breathe in again, clarity. You hold it, you hold in clarity, and you release confusion. You're clear. It's okay. You breathe in expectation. You hold and you release hesitation. So that's what it is. So let's open our hearts with this affirmation because we're talking about prayer and miracles. I believe in the power of my prayer. I release it with love and I receive the miracle with grace. So listen to that carefully. I believe in the power of my prayer. So that tells you we know we have the power to pray. We can create a prayer. We can write our own prayer. We do not need to always read a prayer. I was talking to my sister and something she said to me about prayer. And I said, you can write your own prayer. Our mother said that. Those days, novena were big. Write your own novena. You don't have to follow the novena that's created. That was created by somebody for their own needs. Write your prayer. Believe in the power of your prayer. I release it with love. Once you pray, let it go. I receive the miracle with grace. So when you do that, you always have to put your hand on your chest. It's just where connection lies. You have things called heartstrings. Heartstrings attached to your fingers, and that's where you feel the connection. Now, gently do that. Place your hand over your heart and repeat. Today, I surrender the need to repeat my request, and I choose instead to walk in expecting it. Right? So you pray, you let it go. You cannot hold it if you are praying and asking for help from somewhere. If you say to me, Tessa-Marie, can I help? Can you help me? I am going to say yes. And if I ask for your help, you're saying yes, so I have to let it go. I must let it go so that you can do what it is you promised me that you would do for me. And that is what you have to do. We surrender the need to repeat my request, and I choose to instead to walk with expectancy, just expecting it to happen. So, introduction for today. We are taught, listen carefully and question it. Look back for a second. We're not going to reflect on the past. We're going to, yeah, that's true. We are taught and we're told, encouraged to also, yes, even pleaded with, to pray. We're taught, we're told, we're encouraged, and they even plead with us, please pray. I've heard people say that when they're talking to someone who's going through something, pray. But they don't understand this thing. So what we do, we are told to ask, to knock, to seek, because it's in the scripture, it's in the holy books, right? So we're told to do that, and we go ahead doing that. And yet, we often miss the deepest instruction of all. When does the act of asking become experience of receiving. We ask because that's what they told us to do. Ask for more. Pray without ceasing. Continuously pray. So when does prayer transform into a miracle? When does that happen? Basically, that's what I'm asking. Most of us keep praying as if heaven needs reminders. We believe in a heaven somewhere, and it's there, but we only believe for that little time there. Not only, I don't think they heard me up there. You don't actually say that, but it's like knocking on a door and they're saying, come in, and you're standing there knocking. Or the door is open, come in, and you're still not coming. You're waiting for something to drag you in. We go back to the same request, the same need, day after day, year after year. But the question we seldom ask is this: when do we stop asking and start believing? We don't ask that question of ourselves. When should I stop this? When should I stop? For the past 30 years, I've been praying for miracles to happen, that to change people, to fix people, and to make them feel better people. When are we going to stop doing that? When should we? The problem with perpetually requesting is this. So let's imagine you place an online order. You click, you point, you click, you pay, you get a confirmation. What do you do next? You wait. You just wait. You do not go back every hour to reorder the same item, do you? You do not call the warehouse and say, just checking, did you get it? You don't do that. Why? Because you trust the system. But you do not trust what you are supposed to say. Tessa-Marie, I believe in God and God is on my side and I get this so much. But then why are you begging him? Why do you keep repeating the same thing and begging? Why? Why does prayer have to be an hallelujah? Can you just get in there and do it and go? Why do you have to just, whoa? It's not necessary. So because you trust the system, that's why you wait for it to come. So why do we not trust the divine system with the same confidence? We have to trust that what we ask, we will receive. We were told about that already. We need to realize that the problem is with perpetual requesting is confusing the whole thing. We treat prayer like it needs a follow-up email. We do, you know. We go, okay, we have to get this. Another email, God didn't hear me, whatever you're praying to. And yet, the energy of prayer is sacred. It is vibrational. When you ask, you release the intention. When you ask somebody, you go to the bank to get a loan, you ask and you walk away, you go home and you wait. You don't go back every day and request another loan, do you? When you believe, you align with the miracle. When you believe that your prayer will be answered, when you doubt, you disrupt the flow. So every time you doubt and you're questioning it, you're doubting, you're blocking things. The hidden instructions that sometimes they don't always give it to us. You know, it's not their fault. That's what they got to. So let's now revisit the missing recipe to be effective prayer. There's something in the recipe, but it's a whole recipe that's missing. Somebody said to me, Tessa-Marie, when you talk like that, you're talking about ingredients. I said, yes. What makes the recipe of life work is the 5 pillars, is all the ingredients we put together. It's not nothing. It's not the taking away the salt and saying, okay, we don't need salt today. And even when you need salt, you don't have to put a lot, but you can put a little, but you still put salt. Remember that. So the first request is the hardest one. The first thing we have to know is to be specific in your request. How specific can you get? As specific as you can see. You must see the thing, all the intricate little stitches that brings it all together, the loving things about it. Name it, claim it, frame it. Once, a long time ago, I said you have to put yourself in a frame, a crystal frame. You know what's magical? We love our family and friends, and when we go together, frame to put our grandchildren, our children picture in there, you should see this thing. There is no limit to the expense we pray. I remember Michael standing at one of my dressers in my room, and he's looking at a picture of Michael, and he goes, "Look at the frame, children. Look at the frame." He could see the frame was different. So I'm asking you, do that for you. Do not put yourself in the frame and claim it. Do not say, "Bless me." That is rubbish. With what? If you mean help me get clarity about my career, then say that. Oh, bless me with a man. The lady got a one-legged man, and she went back and complained he had one leg, and God said, "Well, you asked for a man, you got a man. You didn't say you had to have 2 legs." That's because she wasn't clear. Be specific. God is not vague, so why should your prayer be? How can I help you? He's asking, if you're not telling me honestly, taking the time to formulate what it is you want to say to me so that I can give it to you. And we have to relieve that. Pray once, and believe daily. Now that's very difficult to do. I am asking you to pray one time and then to continuously believe. And you can do it in an affirmation way. You can walk with your shoulders up back straight and say, "I believe, I know it will." And sometimes just before the sun rises, it gets really dark. And we all know the saying, it gets darker before dawn. It's darker before dawn. So before the dawn of your miracle, you might have to face some challenges. Is the miracle asking you, are you good enough? Can you hold this up? Are you sure that's what you want? Is the miracle of anxiousness going to push you to say, "You know what, no matter what the world sends at me right now, I'm believing I will succeed"? That alone is good enough. So, repetition from desperation does not speed up the miracle. Pray with intention, then release it. Repetition from desperation does not speed up the miracle. It actually slows it down. It does, you know. So if you want it to go, you have to make sure that you let go and let God, let the universe, whatever. This isn't just a saying. It's a spiritual strategy. Did you get that? It's not, when you hear they say, "Let go and let God," that is not just a cliche saying. It is a spiritual plan, a strategy, how to do this thing. We repeat it, let go, no, but believe it. You know what? I did my best. I'm not going to push anymore. I gave God my request. I did my best. And trust in divine timing, especially since we know divine timing and our timing is not the same. We are so busy praying. Many times the miracle has fallen in our lap and slipped right off because we did not catch it. Just as the miracle was coming, we stood up to go and beg again. And we lost the miracle because we weren't in the moment of time. We weren't taking it now. We weren't believing this is going to happen for me. And wait. And even in yoga, they wait with expectation. Their hands are open to receive. Nobody knows what you get in meditation and those yoga practices. We really don't know. There's nothing to receive. It doesn't correct your life and give you something, but it puts you in that zone. There's a zone that it brings you in. So let go and let God isn't just a saying. It's a strategy, a spiritual one. Trust in divine timing. Your miracle, hey guys, that one is going to make you get it. Your miracle is not Amazon Prime. It doesn't come overnight. Colin had a delivery yesterday morning at 4 a.m. I think she said, I heard her saying, "It's coming overnight, it's coming between." Yeah, that is not God's miracle. It comes in the right time, and that's even better. Because when you notice, if you want to think, some of the things you requested, They came a long time later, but that was the right time. That was the time that you had the time to enjoy it. You had the time to accept it. You had the time to nurture it. You had the time to see, oh my God, it really came. But if after you pray, you get up and say, I have to do this again, as you're getting up, the miracle that was put in your lap by divine timing slips right off your lap onto the floor and off it goes. And you're disappointed. You don't even know that. Do your part. Prepare to receive. Show up like someone who believes the miracle is already on the way. That's the prayer. If you ask for rain, man, why are you still walking about around without an umbrella? You want rain, and you're going out, but you left your umbrella at home. So you're not expecting rain, are you? What are you expecting? Something else, but certainly not rain. You need an umbrella when it's raining. Think of it from that point of view. Simple, but true. So one of the things, like every request we make leans heavily on the 5 pillars of prosperity. Every action, thought, and words that we speak leans on the 5 pillars of prosperity. Whether we are acknowledging it or we like it, it happens. So let's now anchor this in the 5 pillars. Let's put this prayer thing in the 5 pillars. I'll show you how it works. Emotional prosperity. Prayer becomes a miracle when you emotionally detach from worry. So Vanessa once said to me, Mom, if people worry, don't pray. If you pray, don't worry. Worry and faith cannot live in the same space. They can't, you know. They don't like each other. So that is one thing we have to be aware of. Let your prayer calm you, not rattle you. Your prayer shouldn't rattle. Lying in bed every day and watching this, like my sister writing in her books of prayer and doing all these things that she does. I'm not saying it's wrong, but let go. God is not deaf, dumb, or whatever you want to say. So let your prayer calm you, not rattle you. Prayer becomes a miracle when you emotionally detach from the worry. You let it go. You give it to this person you believe that can help you. Why? Worry and faith, they're not in the same space. Mental prosperity in prayer. Train your mind to stop overthinking the how. You know, when you don't know, or when you ask for something and then you go to request it, you don't know the how. It doesn't matter how. Your responsibility is to request, not to worry, oh, how am I going to get this? No. If you knew, you would have had it already, didn't you? So you don't know. So the how is none of your concern. We need to learn that. Let the how come from the people that know how to do the how. You know, so the miracle is not your job. The belief is. Belief is. Thought becomes belief. Belief becomes vibration. Vibration attracts the miracle. You got that? Physical prosperity. Take aligned action. If you pray for better health, you're going to just sit there and you're going to pray and the genie is going to show up and make you better. No, the genie is not coming. Do not wait for the genie. The doctor makes no more house calls, so get over that. Drink water. Start with a simple action. You're praying for health, better health. What are you doing? Drink some water. Move the body. Rest the mind in meditation, yoga. Miracles partner with movement, with the 5 pillars, with the physical prosperity. I was showing Kathleen yesterday, she's just 41, on Saturday, how to get out of a chair. And she said, oh, that's so important for me because my mom has problems and she's only 70. I said, we have to practice now. So she said, I need to keep myself healthy. And she always shows up when she's looking for some sort of guidance like that. And I said to her, well, bring your butt to the edge of the chair and press your feet into the ground and stand up. At first, it's going to be challenging, but you have to practice those leg muscles to carry you. They say we start to go south when with the legs first. So use it. Do things, go for a walk. But when you're getting off the chair, do not hold the chair, because now you're putting pressure here. Physical prosperity, it is there. You prayed for health. People do. Now let's look at spiritual prosperity. This is where prayer thrives. A strong spiritual life doesn't just pray. It praises, it trusts, it flows. Thank you, Father God. Thank you, angel. Thank you, people. Thank you, house. Thank you, this. Thank you, tree. Thank you, flowers for blooming. Thank you, this. Thank you for having cooked a nice dish for everybody to eat. I'm happy and grateful for that. You say that. So a strong spiritual life doesn't just pray. It praises, it trusts, it flows. Your miracle is already spiritual. It needs your faith, not your panic. When you panic, you lose focus. When you panic, you lose direction. When you panic, you cannot stick to itness. You need to have stick to itness. And if you're panicking, you cannot stick. You would fall off because you're rattled. So you have to believe that your miracle is spiritual. It needs your faith, not your panic. Financial, that one just comes running at me like a bulldozer, like a wrecking ball. If they come about financial, then I talk and I go, okay, so it's not financial, it's spiritual. You're afraid of money. So don't just pray for money. Pray for wisdom, alignment, and stewardship. Check the meaning of stewardship. To be a steward, that's somebody that takes care of things. Then take the time and learn to start managing your money. The money that you have. Start managing what you have as it is. More is coming. Manage it and say, you know what, I'm keep doing my best with this because more is on its way. I need to know how to manage that. Great stewardship. All of that. When you pray, you have to wait. Take a small action and be clear, be specific. Know what you're asking for without a doubt. And it's easy for me here to say it, but I have always practiced it. I am the you of all those years ago. What you are experiencing now, because nobody had taught you how to pray and let go and walk in faith, believing yes you can and it will come. I was one of those. But with practice and determination and consistency, meditation that was not hours of not thinking of anything, my mind became stimulated and clear. And I started seeing things differently. And especially when I worked at the bank, I said that everybody goes home. When they apply for a loan, when they do a test at the doctor, they go home. They don't go back every day or come here every day. But why do we do that in prayer? And that's when I changed my life. That's when I did that. When I said to my sister, Dawn, if I go to church, I go to church. It doesn't make a big deal for me because I believe my altar is exactly where I am. I can go there for community, but I am not going there because that's the only place you can get divine attention. You can get it wherever you are. Didn't go well yourself. So let's do some... Take up a moment and let's do this. We're ending. What prayer? I will take a quiet moment after this session to reflect and write this down. What prayer have I been repeating that I now choose to release with trust? What is the prayer you have every day? You could worry about it. Write it down and let it go. Where have I not been trusting divine timing? Write that down. Get to know it. How can I show up today as someone who already believes the miracle is on its way? Just say la vie, let it go. And say, I don't give the word. I don't care. I'm going to just do my thing and walk away. And that sometimes is the best thing to do. I prayed, okay, God, it's your... Once I was talking to God and Loretta was there. She said, is that how you pray? I go, Loretta, just get out of here right now. You don't want to get what God is going to get. Because, I said, you know what? I am doing my best over here. What are you doing? You promised me you'd fix this. You said you to take care of my needs. And somehow, nothing is happening over here. So, I am done. You have it. You do it. I'm going to do my best. Yes. Sometimes you have to do that. Now close your eyes. Visualize the very thing you prayed for. See it done. Oh, that's so hard, Tessa-Marie. I know it is. Been there, done that. But close your eyes anyway and see it done. See yourself dancing under the moonlight with the lover that you choose. See yourself debt-free. See yourself healthy. See your body feeling great. See you feeling joyful. Seeing that you don't care what people think about you because you used to worry. Seeing that you don't care if the neighbors look at your garage and think it's broken or it does not matter. Let them all go. See yourself receiving the call. Holding the key, opening the door, smiling with the joy of having your house. You got the key. You got they call and said loan approved. They call and said that your debt is paid, your mortgage is paid off. They called, the doctor said, you know what, your test is fine. You got the call. You won the competition. You got the job. See that happen. Say aloud. My prayer is heard. My heart is ready. My miracle is on the way. Always on the way. Always believe it's coming. As long as you're breathing, it must come. I walk in faith, not fear. I walk in expectation, not doubt. So these are little prayers you give yourself. So breathe that in, hold it, and release it. Believe in that little prayer. My prayer is heard. It heard. They made all these promises. Somebody needs to keep one of them. My heart is ready. My miracle is on the way. I walk in faith, not fear. I walk in expectation, not doubt. Breathe that in. No, your closing thoughts. You don't need to keep asking. You ask once, you walk away and say, you know what? I did my best. I'm going to keep working on it. I call it sharpening your axe. You can only keep working if you have a sharpened axe to cut trees, to do this. So to learn to do better. So that is one of the things we have to understand for sure. You do not have to keep asking, but you have to keep taking action. When the thoughts come to change where you were going, you change it. That is accepting the gift that you requested that was dropped in your lap. But if you're agitated and you're not clear and you're upset and you're comparing yourself with others, when the miracle drops in your lap, is the same time you will be standing up and it will just roll away. Wait, sit, listen. You need to keep believing. You don't need to keep asking. So let today be the day your prayer becomes a miracle because you finally chose to trust. Have a great and wonderful morning, everybody. How are you guys feeling today? Take the best out of this that you can use, but believe. Whatever, even if you are not a praying person and you don't believe in God, but you're doing, or you don't believe in a greater person or whatever, but you're working on something and you're looking for success and you request it and you're working on it. Believe it's coming. If you can dream it, you can have it. If you can create it, you can have it. If you can see it, you better go and stand in it. Stop seeing your success down the street and you are here. Bring it to you. And maybe you can bring it to you for 6 seconds and then you lose it again. But tomorrow you might do 7 seconds and on it goes. Have a wonderful and amazing day. Take care, everyone, for coming.